So what? Okay, so you say you met this girl, right? Okay,
Yes.
and what happened? Okay, and what happened after that? Okay, so what did you meet this
Notice a
girl like?
little.
I'm sorry.
Oh, there's like a slight lag again. So if I sound like I'm not talking, it's because my voice is a little delayed for some reason.
No, no, you're okay. Um, so where did you meet this girl? Again, I'm sorry, the one you met in Costa Rica.
uh, well, I'll be honest. She worked at a pension, which was a dumb mistake.
Oh,
But
okay, okay, no, no,
I,
no, that's okay. Don't feel bad. Don't feel
I was pretty
bad. No, don't
stupid at
feel
the
like
time.
no, no, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. No, we here on this channel. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, you never have
Oh
to worry
yeah,
about
yeah,
that. Okay, okay, okay.
yeah.
So you hooked. Okay, so you hooked up with her, and yep. Did you guys like start dating like for a while, for a minute?
Almost from the beginning. Yeah, we clicked off. We clicked it off right from the get go. Yeah, it was almost instantaneous.
Oh, okay, okay. And what happened after? Did you guys like go out to dinner together, start doing things together?
Oh yeah, yeah. We dinner. We went to the bars. We went to the local bars. She really showed me around the country. I really got to see what Costa Rica really is all about, rather than like a single male trip to Costa Rica is like the Hotel Del Rey. You know, going to like all the like pensions and the massage parlors. But when you meet a girl, you start to kind of like do normal things, which is it was nice. I really enjoyed the lifestyle down there. I was taken by it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys were doing the normal things dating, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. Did she stay with you too at the hotel and spend nights with you and everything like that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. 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 So when did things start? Okay. Now when did you see when things start to change? What happened?
That's the funny thing. Um, I didn't like nothing changed until that night. Like it was like I had texted you. She just went from 0 to 100 without even. I swear, man, she never even reached 50. It was so out of control crazy that when it happened, I was in the same situation as you, similar to your girl going into the bathroom and coming out and looking like the devil. But my girl wasn't.
Looking like
Yeah, like the devil, man. And she wasn't on anything because she doesn't do drugs. She really doesn't drink much. So this was just her personality surfacing. And wow, man, it was like, and it was really nothing more than a misunderstanding, because I told you my friend Jimmy was with me and I had ignored him the whole trip. And we went to the Del Rey that night, and she didn't like it, and she was real jealous. And she was at my hotel waiting for me to get back. She said she had some kind of medication she left behind, or it was in there, which I think was an excuse to get me to come back. And yeah, I was a little pissed off. I was having fun. I was hanging out with my friend, and that's how the argument kind of started.
oh, okay.
Jealousy.
So it started off as an argument. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, kind of. But it was funny. We went to sleep after the argument, and everything was going really, really good. And um, we woke up like midway, like I don't know, maybe an hour or two of dozing. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot to drink that night, and I just kind of got mad and started to argue with her about pulling me out of having fun. Like I'm neglecting my friend. I can't hang out with him. You're not giving me the freedom that I want. And yeah, I mean, when you drink, you say things, but man, I think I just finally said, just get out of my room, just go home. And she like threw her arms up at me and hit me in the face, and I was like, oh shit, like
Oh
the hell's your
wow.
problem?
Oh
And
wow.
we just started yelling. Now, mind you, my friend Jimmy's room is right next to me, so he's next door. And as the argument escalated, I was I wanted to calm her down, so I'm trying to put my arm around her to calm her down, and she pushed away from me again. But this time she pulls out her phone, and I don't speak very good Spanish, if any at all. And she started
Right.
talking to somebody on the phone really fast. And I'm like, hang up the phone, hang up the damn phone. Now I'm yelling, thinking she's calling a friend, right? Little to my knowledge, it was the police. And the police, of course, now, I guess from what she told me after she hung up, what had happened was she's calling the police. She's saying that I'm beating her, which I never did. And as I was yelling, prior to the phone call, because we were in an argument, she hung up the phone and she said, I call police. I tell them you hit me. I said, you did what? Like, are you kidding me? So I did as you. I ran to that elevator. I was in my underwear. I think I threw on a pair of shorts. I didn't even bother to put on my clothes. I said, I got to get management up here, because if she called the cops, I need somebody to verify that I didn't do anything,
Right.
and thank God I did that, because the minute I got to man, tell me if that elevator wasn't one hell of a long trip down. I mean, I was up 3 floors, and it didn't seem like that elevator was ever going to get to the lobby. And when it did, I ran to that front desk. I said, you need to get to my room. The girl up there that I'm with is saying that I'm hitting her. She said she called the police. Can you just get her out of my room? And they went up there, and the manager's name was Guy Grand. He passed away, by the way, so I don't mind mentioning his name because this
Oh, I'm
can't come
sorry to
back.
hear that. Sorry to hear that.
Great guy. Yeah, I'm like, similar to your situation. If there had been maybe a different manager there that night, I would have been arrested. And I remember you had mentioned that as well. You said
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I was very thankful that he went up there to sort things out. But anyway, she wouldn't calm down. She started yelling and screaming at him. He got her to finally leave the room, and he just said, go in your room, shut the door. This is taken care of, nothing to worry about. So I went back in the room, and, I am worried though. I'm like thinking, hell, she called the cops. What's going to happen, and well, sure enough, it wasn't even maybe 5 minutes later, I got a knock on the door again. And now I'm like, who the hell can that be, And it was Guy Grand, and he had mentioned that the police are downstairs. Don't worry, we're gonna take care of this. Just hang out, hang tight, don't come out of the room. And I'm like, well, I didn't do nothing. Why should I have to worry? And I was worried. I mean, I was fucking scared, man. I'm not too proud to admit that, by the way. But anyways,
No, it's okay.
oh yeah, and I said, I better go tell my friend Jimmy what's going on, because if something does happen, he needs to know. And he said, oh man, you're being paranoid. You need to relax. And of course, I kept his door open so I could kind of see what was going on. And Guy came up there again, and he said, Steve, man, you got any colognes? Maybe we can make this thing go away. And I thought, yeah, sure. I'm like, Jimmy, give him some money, because I had no money on me. And he gave Guy the money, and I was like, okay, now I'm getting worried, because I'm like, this thing's not going away. And so we shut the door. Now he knew I was in Jimmy's room. And the third time I heard that knock, now it was Guy with the owner's son. He's a young guy. We're at it was the Hotel Mona Lisa. It's the Hotel Tamarino now. And
Okay, right.
so yeah, he renovated it and took over.
Uh-oh.
Was their previous manager, and he was the one that was looking after me. But anyways, they said, we got to put you in another room, because they're going to come up here to see if you're here. And he said, here, it was a room down the hallway. And I thought, man, I might have to make a run for it. And the first thing I'm thinking is wallet, passport, keys to my car once I get back to the airport. And yeah, my keys, my passport, my wallet, and of course my shoes and pants, which I grabbed what I could. And I just waited in that room and waited in that room. And Guy said, Steve, they're not going to leave until they see that you actually physically left the hotel. We need to get you out of here. And I thought, why? I'm like, he's like, because she's not letting it go. And I guess in Costa Rica, they have we have what they would call a prosecutor here in the States. In Costa Rica, if a girl calls the police on you and she's smart, she'll call the police attorney, and she could press formal charges against you. And just to be aware, and your viewers who may watch this video in the future, if it's a TICA, which is a native. A Tica is a Costa Rican woman. A Nica is a
Uh-huh.
Nicaraguan woman. But the Ticas know how to play the game down there, and the law will take their side. So just be aware of that when you bring a girl to your room, because once she called the police attorney, now they had a warrant to arrest me, which is insane, because I would think that they would need some sort of proof that she had bruising, scratches, nothing. She had nothing, not even a like a nick on her. And I said, well, can't they see I didn't do anything? And guy's like, look, we're going to sneak you out a back door. And thank God that hotel had it's one of the only hotels in that area that actually have a parking garage downstairs. And we made our way downstairs, and man, that was another long elevator ride. Man, I'm telling you, I prayed that as we were going down that lobby, it didn't stop at the lobby floor and have those doors open, because I believe that's where they were all at. And I didn't really know how many cops were down there until, of course, I made my way out of the building. But before I had left, guy told me to just go check. And there's a Radisson up the hill from Tamarina to the right, and he said, just go to the Radisson, check in there for the night, Steve, and things will be better by morning. But this hotel's right by Zona Roja, and Zona Roja, you don't want to be in that area at night. You don't want to be in that area, period. And that's where he said, to make a break for it. And I said, guy, can you at least have your staff call me a cab or something, because I don't want to walk down there. And mind you, I just had Achilles, my left Achilles operated on like a few months ago. Right. So I couldn't really walk well, but they called the cab, I got in it, and I told Guy, I said, thanks, man. I said, I just took off. He's like, get the hell out of here, man. Because I wanted to talk to the police. He said, Steve, you don't speak a word of Spanish. You're not from around here. Get the F out of here. And I said, call me a cab. I'm out of here. And that's when I had his, staff manager one of the security guys got the cab. I jumped in it. And Tony, I'm not kidding you. When I drove past the hotel going away from it, they had so many cops there. I mean, it wasn't like one car. It was like an arsenal of cops. And it looked like a Christmas tree. It was so lit up. And this is my third trip down there, and I didn't know the country well, but I knew how to get to this hotel called the La Amistad. And it's kind of right in the Gringo Gulch. That's where all of us gringos go when we go out there mongering. And it's a great hotel, and I remembered how to get there because the cab driver didn't speak any English. And I got to the Amistad, checked in there for the night, and man, I was scared. I didn't sleep that whole night, and I thought I better call my sister in case if something was to happen, or if they come. At this point, I'm thinking they're going to come looking for me. They're going to check every hotel and in the area, which they're not going to do. Looking back, I think I was more or less more paranoid than I should have, but I don't want to take any chances, man. I mean, you don't want to get locked up out there. It's who knows how long they could hold you. I mean, they could. Yeah. Man, yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, and when I checked into the La Amistad that night, man, I didn't sleep that whole night. I just knew that I had to find a way out by morning. Oh, go ahead, Tony.
So you went to the other hotel. So did a cab come? Okay, so you did jump in the cab, and the cab took you to another hotel, right?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay. And you had all your things. I wonder why they had so many police like that. For something like that. That was kind of strange.
Well, I'm thinking because of my size, but I don't know how they know my size. Like I'm 6'5", and at the time I was about 315. But how would they know that? But I'm guessing maybe she showed them a picture. Maybe she said I'm a big guy. I have no idea. But I don't really at this point know exactly how many cops. I just saw all the police cars. At this point, I really don't know how many cops are there. This was found out later. Because of course my buddy Jimmy's still there, mind you. He was in the room next door to me, and he doesn't really even know the extent of what's going on until later. And mind you, I'm at the Amistad, and I didn't want to call him. I turned my phone off. I was like, man, they might track me through my phone. Paranoia was just hitting me at all ends, and I didn't know what to do, man. I mean, you're scared to death. You're like, the last thing I want to do is end up in San Sebastian at the time. You know, that's the La Reforma. There is no county lockup out there. They take you right to the prison. You know, and I'm a gringo. Don't speak no Spanish. What do you think they would?
Wow.
Man,
Wow.
I went by it. I saw that place. It looks like something from medieval times. They closed it down. It's not open anymore because it was just so overcrowded. But I'm pretty sure that's where I was probably going to go that night over an accusation. You know, I mean, that's pretty insane. Knowing that I didn't do a damn thing, you know?
Yeah. Now, was she trying to extort money from you? Did she ask you to pay her or something? Because I know that can cause it too.
It was spite, man. She was going for the jugular because I told her to get out of the room. You know, well, we had sex before we went to bed, and then I woke up and I just kind of I was drunk, Tony. I mean, I told her to leave, and I maybe shouldn't have said that. And I was just still angry, and she felt used, I think. So, I mean, there is two sides to every story, and I don't want to say that I was totally innocent that night, but it was an argument. And I think she felt like you treated me like a whore, and now I'm gonna teach you, you know. But I tried to apologize. You know, it wasn't like I didn't say I was sorry. I said, Laura, I'm sorry. Just okay. Look, let's just drop it. She wasn't going to have it. She had already made up her mind that, you know, she was going to have me arrested, and that's what she was trying to do. You know.
Oh my God, that sounds like that was a nightmare there. But the difference between your situation and my situation is there was no argument. There was no fight prior to what happened. Only thing she wanted was just money. So
she wanted money.
the money, yeah, she just wanted the money. So at first I wasn't going to give it to her because I felt that she ever, you know, you haven't done nothing to deserve the money, you know. But eventually, I just gave it to her. I just said, "Here, you can have the money." I just gave it to her, and I told because the guy that I don't know who this guy. He was like part of the hotel representative, whatever he was, cartel, whatever. He said he could speak English and Spanish at the same time, and he said he leaned over. She said that you owe her. I said, owe her? He said, yeah, you owe her. He said, you need to pay her. So I just paid her, got rid of her. That's what I did. But
you got off pretty easy, huh?
Yeah, well, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad because she was like, she wouldn't stop crying. Her crying was just persistent. She wouldn't stop crying. And so when she was crying like that, other people could hear and they may think that I was doing something to her. You know, that's what was scaring me. So that's when I went and got some help. I said, okay, you know what? Let me go down here and get some help. You know, and when I was down at the lobby, the person at the front of the lobby said, okay, I need to call somebody. And they called somebody, and that's when that guy showed up. I was like, oh my God. I said, this guy looked like something out of Scarface. And then he followed me upstairs to my room, and he began to talk to her and stuff like that. He told me to stay out the room for a minute. He said, out the room for a minute, you know, and they was just going back and forth with each other. Then when I came back into my room, he sat right next to me. He took off his hat. He crossed his legs. And I was telling you, he was just like the Godfather, man. But I knew this. I said, this guy had to be cartel. He probably was maybe one of the owners of the hotel. That's what I'm thinking he probably was. Because he wasn't the average worker that worked there at the hotel. You know, so but he was really more interested in making sure that I had a good time. You know.
What made you think if you don't mind me asking, what made you think that if the other manager was working that night, that they wouldn't have had you back?
Well, Well, the next day, because what they did was they put me into another room. They put me into
Like me,
another
huh?
room. Yeah, yeah, but it's the same hotel, but they put me in a different room. And the next morning, they pretend like nothing never happened. So I went down, got me some breakfast, and the manager was down into the office. I mean, in the front lobby. I'm sorry. And he said, "I heard about what happened last night." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, I had a really bad guess last night." And then he said that I said, "If you were here last night, what would you would have done in that situation?" He said he would have called the police. Because see, the last thing you don't want to do is call the cops.
I know.
That's,
Tell me
that's the
about it.
last. Yeah, that's the last thing that you don't want to do is call the police. And he said if he would have been working that night, he would have called the cops. And see,
Wow.
the reason why you don't want to call the cops is because of it can create more extortion.
Sure.
It can create more extortion. So you end up paying her, and then end up paying the cops too.
Same thing in Costa Rica.
Yeah, yeah. So those probably what all those cops probably came, to try to get some money out of you. Probably
Oh, for
that's what
sure.
that situation. So so what happened? What time did you leave? When all this was happening, what time did you? Yeah, did you go back to the states? Um, that morning after it happened, or did you stay in Costa Rica for a little while longer?
And the story gets crazier, man. I got on my phone and I thought, man, where can I need to get out of the country because man, you're my paranoia like maybe made me overreact, but I didn't want to take any chances. So of
No, you didn't want to
course
go
I
to
looked.
jail. Oh,
Yeah, no, hell no. So I looked at which country was closest, and I had thought about going to Panama, and then I was like, well, eh, I've talked to enough of the guys who live in Costa Rica that go to San Juan del Sur and Nicaragua to do their visa runs, and they said that it's safe, it's easy to cross over, it's only like I think a 7-8 hour bus drive, but for me, I I chose Nicaragua. I'm like, I'm gonna get on that bus. I believe I Google search. I'm like, what bus takes you out of San Jose to Nicaragua? And it's Transnica bus lines. And I went to the bus station like 8 o'clock that morning, and I got a one-way ticket, got aboard that bus, and man, I was out of there like a bat out of hell, man. I didn't look back. I thought, they could they can look for me all they want. Once I'm out of the country, I thought, man, I'll be like, and I knew nothing about Nicaragua. To me, it was like, where the hell am I going? And, what's going to happen when I get there? But in my mind, it was like, I won't be here. And I know the cops can't get me over there, if that's the extent of to trying to find me. But I probably could have stayed, I probably didn't have to go that far, but hell, man. I mean, at this point, what did I have to lose? And yeah, it was a interesting bus ride in itself. But once I got out of the country, I wanted to call Jimmy to see what happened. After I had left, and he's like, "Where are you?" I said, "Jimmy, I'm in Nicaragua, man. I'm gone." He's like, "It's a good thing." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He said, "Dude, after you left, he got a knock on his door." And Tony, this is ridiculous, man. I'm
Oh,
one guy.
oh, oh, he getting ready to get
Um,
good. Okay.
I
Ooh,
mean,
okay.
why would you send my Jimmy, my friend? Well, he used to be my friend. I don't, he's a backstabber. I don't talk to him no more now. But at that time, he had told me, he said that when he got that knock on his door, I think he said like something like 8 or 10. He said there was like an army of cops like prepared
Oh,
for war. I'm like,
wow.
what do you mean prepared for war? He's like, they had the shields, they had like the fucking nightsticks. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah. He says, I guess because I'm 6'5", right? And they're looking under the bed to see if I'm hiding under the bed in his room. They were in my room looking for me. And Jimmy's like, look, the guy's 6'5". If he's hiding under the bed, you're gonna know. Like, but they didn't care. They checked the room, they checked the closets, they checked my room, and then they left. And
So they
as
can,
far
so
as
they
I know,
can. So they came looking for you.
Yeah, they were coming after me. I could not believe that. I thought, wow, over a stupid phone call? Like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, but the thing is, she pressed charges. So I would have been, so I don't know if you're familiar, but in Costa Rica, any of these girls you bring back to your room, if they file any kind of like assault charge against you, you have to stay in the country. I think it's like up to 12 days pending an investigation, and it could be longer. There are kangaroo courts down there. I mean, look what happened to Cuba Dave. I don't know if you remember Cuba Dave, but man, that guy was locked up for 2 years down there for vlogging. I mean, that was ridiculous, man. I mean, the guy just, I mean, he wasn't pimping. They were trying to bring him on pimping charges, but that's what they can do. And of course, that actually happened after my incident. Shortly after my incident, Cuba Dave got arrested at the airport. And I thought, man, they don't play down there. And yeah, so after he said that they didn't see me in the room, they left. And then I guess the next day, Guy Grant had asked where I was, and Jimmy said, "Oh man, he left the country." And Guy's like, "It's a good thing," and that was all that was said. And
Oh wow, wow.
yeah, so yeah, I mean, looking back on that whole experience, everything really worked out to my advantage because had it not, I don't think my life would be where it is now. I wouldn't. I would have probably been in a lot more trouble. I don't know how long they could have detained me. I know Cuba Dave was down there for 2 years before he finally got out, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the guy.
They say the only thing he was doing was just vlogging. You mean like just doing YouTube content or something?
Yeah, he was one of the first ones to find the that niche to before this is before Passport Bros and the whole movement started. So Cuba
Yeah,
Dave
yeah.
was the guy who just told people about he was big on going to the Dominican Republic and going to Costa Rica, and he used to go to Cuba back in the day, but he would just vlog his experiences and share to other people, like when you go to San Jose.